Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. We are not on time today. I'm sorry. Neuropsych, forgive me. I will turn in my hall pass, my detention slip to Pika. Shout out to everybody, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody. Um, I know I just started. I needed to get my coffee, you guys. I have like the sinus thing going on, so that's the other issue too. So I'm trying my best to kind of get myself pumped. Welcome, everybody, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's start with a intro to give people some time to get in here, hopefully, because we got some stuff to get into. Okay, let's go. Ooh, we welcome everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see who's in the house. Welcome, Iron Rabbit, Bo, Hannah, Pika, Nebulous. Who else is in the house? Dawn. Let's see. Spooky Fox, welcome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Chico. I know I saw Pika, Lovey Cats. Welcome, Nebulous. And Neuropsych. Welcome to Neuropsych. Una Jane. Is that how you say it? Una Jane? Or Unjane? Let me know. Did I say it correctly? You said I was looking at something about OJ when I found out that he was dead. Whoa. I mean, listen, hey Jay McCarthy, it's a lot of interesting news that's going on. I didn't even know the man had cancer. Hey VT, welcome. Everybody, thank you guys. Did y'all know? I didn't know that he had cancer, honestly. But then again, I'm not really always paying attention to everything OJ. Totally, completely did not know that. Did you guys know that? Yes, from his battle of prostate cancer, which somebody said it best on Twitter, and I retweeted their tweet. They said, "Condolences to the children of O.J. Simpson. He wasn't a good person, but still was their dad. Their pain is there. Unfortunately, the ish show will begin all over again. Here comes the books, the articles, the movies, the this really happened, never really happened, decades too late. Rest in peace, Nicole and Ron." I think that in my mind, we will I know he was acquitted, but in my mind I will always associate that with him. I don't know who else doesn't. Oh, he was in remission one time. See, I didn't even know all that. I did not know all that. So people are I guess feeling some type of way about it. I heard some other channels that were I I don't know if, first of all, I don't celebrate anybody's demise. um I may have my strong opinions about it, but I just don't, and I definitely feel some type of way about it. But I mean, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Ever wonder why the glove didn't fit OJ? Not his size. I watched the entire trial. Where was OJ's older son? Was he in a relationship with Nicole Kim? You and a lot of people are going to come back and bring up a lot of these questions that have been buried for many, many years. Now I'm just saying, that's what the other Twitter person said. Shout out to her. She's right. People are going to come back and, spew up never befores and didn't know and biographies and stuff like that. That's just what happens. Unfortunately, that's just what happens. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't really know. I know when listen, the most iconic thing I remember about OJ Simpson is you'll never forget the white Bronco. I remember that. I remember because I lived in the area when all that went down. Um, that whole white Bronco police chain, and then the parodies came out of that. I remember the trial as I was a kid. I was in elementary school when all of that went down. Yeah, just saying. Just saying, welcome. You said OJ wrote a book titled If I Did It that screams guilty. Oh, yeah, I think it's important to show those children grace because that's important. That's important. So thank you, Call Me Vicky, which you changed your name, love. Shout out to you. Um, yeah, that's just my thought. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Just let me know. So wanted to chat a little bit about that. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Like I said, I didn't know the man had cancer. I had no idea. Hmm. Excuse me, my coffee's all over. Let's see what you guys are saying. It's not mine to carry. He has passed. I leave it alone, says Neuropsych. I'm not going to celebrate the passing of someone or mocking the dead. Not my place, but I don't ever put that kind of energy into the world. That's interesting. Yeah, Pika. I mean, that's just how I am, you know? You said, Chico, OJ did it, but I ain't going to speak on the dead. Bad juju, but the truth is out. Yeah. And even the interviews afterwards. I mean, I remember what was it, the Naked Gun movies, It is what it is. To be honest, I didn't even know yeah, Mr. Gamer, I had no idea that he had cancer. It's Vicky sounds said call me Vicky, said that he was in remission, but I had no idea, you guys. So let God do the judging. If that's what you believe, let him be and let him be judge over there. Here we have our opinions. And I definitely feel for those children because, at the end of the day, that was their father. You know, um, that's just how I see it. I don't think so, Kitty. If there was anyone else, it could be a tennis instructor. She looks like him. Who are you talking about? Vic, shout out to you. There's a lot of people in this chat that may not remember the whole farce. OJ was guilty as sin. I watched the trial. I have research and matters further. He was a narcissist and title actor. I don't think it's not that we do remember the farce. We're just saying that he's dead. That's what we're saying. He died. We didn't know he had cancer. We're not dragging him like that because we're not. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. He didn't actually write the book. He just allowed them to say what he did because he said he believed it. I think I did it so a book won't change. Mm. And he couldn't be tried. Could he have been tried again if they had found like newer evidence? I don't know. I'm not familiar. So you grew up in Ohio where OJ was adored by many. And he did what he did, and I believe he did it. I think a lot of people believe that he's guilty. It killed me, but it's over, and let's leave it in the past. A lot of people feel some type of way about it. It's crazy how his legacy went from beloved football athlete to crazed murderer. And I mean, he went to jail, I believe. Didn't he like serve some time at some point? He served some time at some point for like some collector's items or something like that. Yeah, I feel like if he is being let off easy is all. No, well, I mean, but it's not that's your feeling and I respect that. It's just for us, at least for me, I'm going to respect the privacy. And was he a great person? Like I said, I don't think he was the best person. Do I feel like he did something in that crime? He absolutely did, in my opinion, from what I've known. I'm not taking away from anybody gathering or anything like that. I have sympathy for those that he impacted, and it was many people. I mean, he hurt his own children, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So good morning. I'm a new sub and actually caught alive. Welcome, welcome, love. Shout out to you. All right. We got to get our shit together today. Can we get our shit together? Can y'all get it together? Okay. Just wanted to talk a little bit about that, see where you guys are feeling. I have a feeling it's going to be a small crowd today, which is good. A little bit more homey, for us. Shout out to us. Um, let's get it together. We have to talk about Diddy's well, it's not Diddy's, this Diddy's son, this new lawsuit, and the internet dragging Tyrone Blackburn. And you guys know that I had to put my 2 cents on Tyrone Blackburn because I personally, ever since the Tiny and Ti stuff, ever since the way in which that was handled, I have felt and I have side-eyed Tyrone Blackburn for quite some time. And people have been, side eyeing him as well, um, in various cases, it sounds like. Now, I kind of tuned off. Like, once the Tiny Ti stopped, I tuned off. I was like, I'm done. I'm tuning off, and really started, like, didn't pay attention to the other cases. I knew that the whole Jennifer Huff, Kenneth Petty case was another crazy bombshell in that case. And then there was the Tiffany Haddish case, and now we have the Diddy case. So it's a bunch of different cases, a lot of cases. And I just want to sit there and kind of wonder, like, all right, what do we make of this? What do we do from here? Is he a well-intended attorney? Is he there for a pay cut? Is he allegedly extorting celebrities, as people are saying now on the internet? What do you guys think? So I wanted to talk a little bit about the King Combs lawsuit. Now, I have heard different reactions from Popcorn Planet. Shout out to Popcorn Planet. And then BJ, which I'm so glad that she also broke this down a little bit more and kind of gave us a little reaction to it. I'm going to share you guys. This is the new, what is it, 7 days ago that this broke for those that are following the whole the Diddy raids, the Diddy did it, all this other stuff. So there's another complaint that came in, but this time it came in on Diddy's son, Christian King Combs, for those that don't know him. So in this lawsuit, allegedly there was it's really horrific because you have a victim that was allegedly victimized at a yacht while working. Okay. And I mean, just imagine you're out like in the ocean, you can't break free, you can't, like, there is only so much that you can do. This is the kind of stuff that's just like that would be scary, right? Um because you don't know what you can or can't do. And it sounds like, people were trying to appease the party goers, people are trying to just, do what you have to do, that type of situation. So I'm going to try to get right to the point of this lawsuit, at least the facts common, okay? Says in or around July 2022, Grace, we're going to call her Grace, she's the plaintiff, was working at a yacht and owned by operated by Frazier. So I'm going to paraphrase here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Plaintiff worked as a temporary second stewardess for the company. Plaintiff worked in a temporary position for a month, and then was subsequently offered a permanent position due to her professionalism, passion for the job, and great customer skills. In or about, I think you meant to say on or about. Is it in or about or on or about? On or about September 20th, 2022, plaintiff had been part of a dedicated team at the Monaco Boat Show, tasked with selling charters for the industry, to a net high worth clients such as C. Combs and S. Combs. So let's see, December 2022, plaintiff and her team were advised that the yacht had been successfully chartered for the 2022 holiday period. Plaintiff changed her personal holiday family plans to accommodate the charter service and flew to St. Martin to prepare for the yacht service. Plaintiff soon learned that the client who chartered the yacht was defendant Combs and his family. S. Combs and his family. Defendant S. Combs leased the yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although the plaintiff was used to working in discreet and VIP environments, This one of her first times working an A-list celebrity. Can I just say something? Like, and I know it's me, Vicky. All of them, Vicky. I know. If we're gonna call Tyrone Blackburn, we also have to call Benjamin Crumb. Isn't he profiting off the death of Black lives with the name of civil rights? You say no. I agree with you, but I want to know something. Did you read this one? I'm kind of curious because, and I'm at, and anybody else that can chime in, please let me know. Um, this is like it's maybe I just don't know how to read. English is not my first language. For those that are like wondering, like Rabbit, why do you sound like you have an accent? Why do you sound It's because English is not my first language. I was an ESL student. Yeah, so just note that. But sometimes I read these damn lawsuits and I feel like I'm saying something wrong, but it's like there's actually a typo here, or maybe it wasn't a typo. I don't know. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I reading this wrong? On or about at Anyways, side rant. So Miss Amber says, "Hello, Rabbit from Louisiana. OJ is guilty as F. Back in the day, we listened to the trial and verdict on the radio until we got home to watch TV. No social media, no news videos on cell phones, right? Like, yeah, back in those days, that was a different time, Miss Amber. It really was. Shout out to you. Um, but yeah, I feel like sometimes when I read these lawsuits, I'm misreading things, or there might be an actual typo to some of this. You said, I've never seen a filing go into this much details. It's an attorney issue. Yeah, the details. And then like I appreciate the shadiness. Like when somebody's shady or petty and everything, but sometimes it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like it's unnecessary to be this way. It, just just say the facts for what they are and for what you have, and everything should stand alone. I don't have an accent to you. My mind kind of goes back and forth. They said I read it, and also Rodney's affidavit to the court attesting to the validity of the petition. So now I sit back and wait. I'm gonna sit back and wait with you on that one too. Hold up, let me see what you guys are saying. Kim says, nah, hell nah. Your reading is just fine. Those darn court docs always have something messed up in them, and they're not easy. They're not easy to read. All right, like please, they didn't make it for us non people to read them. Hmm. Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to you. All right, so let's get it together. So then he says that defendant S. Combs leased a yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although plaintiff was used to working in discreet VIP environments, this was one of her first times working with an A-list celebrity. So when I read this, I think of like her working with like other not celebrities, like maybe rich people kind of situation. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So because of this, plaintiff and the rest of the team assigned to the yacht were determined to make the holiday special for defendants S. Combe and his family. For the situation of the trip, excuse me, for the duration of the trip, plaintiff was assigned the 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. shift along with one other crew member. Ooh. This shift, commonly known as the late shift, was very busy. That's like a graveyard shift, no? 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I used to work overnights, so that was hard. That was 3 years of that. You can never get that time back. The many hours of sleep that you lose. Late shift duties included dinner, drink service for the clients for the entire 12-hour period. Dinner, drinks, service had to be carried out with the minimum staff support or backup during the night shift since only two individuals were assigned. Although defendant S. Combe was always typically on the yacht, his sons, defendant Combs and Justin, were staying in a luxury villa nearby, but joined their father aboard the yacht most evenings. So how many days does she stay there? Because that's a very specific detail, How many days did she stay there? Thank you, Linda. Yeah, tell everybody to hit the like and subscribe. It's an interesting detail. But anyways, so during the second week of the charter service, there was a significant amount of partying and drug use because which caused the guests to stay throughout the night. The makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendants as Combe and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected sex workers and A-list celebrities such as Fresh Montana and actor Cuba Jr. All right. So French Montana. For those that don't know Mr. French Montana, French Montana has also had allegations out there. There have been actual workers that have put out allegations of him. Now, let me tell you, every time I say something French Montana, I got the fans, I got the stands that would immediately, drag and message me and everything. I've talked about French Montana before. So this is interesting that he's an A-lister being mentioned here. It's interesting. But how are they suspecting sex workers? Like, is everybody how do they do this? How do they say this is a sex worker for sure? Here it is. This is what the sex worker looks like. Like, how do they know this? To put this out here unless they got names. You know? I don't know. This just sounds weird. And then actor Cuba Gooding Jr., which he was mentioned before. Defendants Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a ooh Lord, look at they said that wow. That is how. Hold up, let me pull something real quick. Sounds like they turned it into a crazy environment. Hold up, y'all. I'm getting a message. So what turned into a wholesome family excursion turned into a hedonistic environment. A wholesome family excursion. So did she assume that it was like wholesome because the family was there? Did he bring his daughters on this? I'm just kind of wondering, you know? According to plaintiffs, it resulted into an unexpected increase in workload for her and her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, sex works, and general chaos. Now, let me just say something. And I definitely feel some type of way because I know, and I've heard the rumors too. There's been videos out there about yacht parties. People go to yacht parties, and there's the expectation of certain things, but you know, first of all, we don't if there's victims out there, they need, hopefully this will encourage them to come out. But I've heard of a lot of yacht parties that just kind of go crazy. They just do. It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink services until 6 a.m. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected sex workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht. And it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol were laced with drugs and which bottles were not. So I'm trying to understand though when he said that it was supposed to be a wholesome family thing. Like, why would she make that did other people go in there that were family? I mean, other than the son? Yeah, what would have happened? This is a great question. What would have happened if he had to ask the captain for her to stay? He obviously didn't care about her safety. His actions prove that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So okay, it is important to note that as a bartender, plaintiff understands the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of De Leon tequila, one mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking and passing out. How many people did they have at this yacht? That's my question. And then how many witnesses do they have as well? This led plaintiff to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women was likely laced with drugs. Well, and then also if you're out in the ocean, you're seasick, that's another factor. No worries, cheeks. Please take care of yourself, please and thank you. Um yeah, but Kim, I'm thinking also like they're out in the ocean too. Does that also change a factor to this? I don't know. You said Oneida, shout out to Oneida. As a paralegal, I believe that the lawyers are just using language like wholesome to make the point that it really wasn't wholesome. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you so much. Shout out to all my beautiful, wonderful professionals, legals, attorneys, paralegals, and all the beautiful people in the chat, 'cause I know I got some. Thank you guys. So the plaintiff was aware that Rodney Jones, a producer who was employed to work on the Love album Off the Grid, was required to be on standby for musical recordings, often late into the night. The Love album of the Off the Grid and the fifth studio album by American rapper and recorded producer Sean Diddy Combs, released September 15th of 2023. Okay. Mr. Jones was accepted as an extended member of the service staff and spend time with plaintiff at the service bar at piano room where he played the piano. So they're bringing Rodney Jones in this as well. Um, kind of like they're mentioning him in this lawsuit. On or about the early morning of December 28, 2002, the evening shift started as normal. At about 5 a.m., plaintiff was message on the on-duty phone. The defendant, C. Combs, would be joining the yacht by tender, a smaller craft that runs back and forth from a larger yacht and used for servicing and providing support entertainment to a private and or charter yacht. Defendant Combs wanted to be brought over to record in the yacht makeshift recording studio with Mr. Jones. Okay. So, but her shift starts at 6 a.m. No, 6. So she was messaged. So her shift is from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And at about the evening shift started at as normal at about 5. So was this an hour before the shift start or the shift ended? Am I hearing this correctly? Mm. Okay. Although it's not unheard of for defendant Combs to come aboard at such a late hour, he usually stays at his dwelling offshore overnight, particularly when there was no party on board or any given night. Defendant Combs arrived in the tender and was heavily intoxicated, and this is Christian Combs. Plaintiff suspected defendant Combs was intoxicated from a mixture of narcotics and alcohol. Upon entering the recording studio, defendant immediately started ordering the tequila shots be poured from a bottle of alcohol he may have bought into the yacht. Ironically, Combs was playing Cassie, Me and You and was playing in the background. Cassie was an artist. Okay, we know this. I don't all right, yes. I guess this we know this. And there was the allegations and there's a settlement that happened there not very long ago. In the studio, defendant Combs asked the plaintiff bring the shots to the recording studio. Plaintiff obliged as she was the only serving steward at a time. So the only how many stewards do they have serving at a time? Sounds like they only have one. They only have one on deck. And how many people are at this party? I mean, this is just kind of wondering. Plaintiff noticed immediately that he's particularly attentive with her, which she considers very inappropriate. However, plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take the tequila shot and he may have brought on board to the yacht. Under pressure and wanting to be polite, plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed defendants Escobe create a Black Santa video which showed him demanding the captain, various heads of department and crew take shots of tequila with him. At this as this was a pattern established by the captain at the yacht, defendant S. Combs plaintiff felt uncomfortable knowing Mr. Jones was present and didn't think anything more of it. She felt like she could take one shot and he would let her return to the pantry. According to plaintiff, at that point, the mood changed and things became sinister. Defendant C. Combs insisted that plaintiff stay chatting and that she sit beside him. Plaintiff insisted and remained polite, asking him to leave. Defendant C. Combs became aggressive and insisted that plaintiff take further shots and sit beside him. Whoa. Anybody else see this? I'm kind of wondering. At this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. Plaintiff insisted that she had to return to the pantry, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Angered, Plaintiff C. Combs forced plaintiff to take another shot. Plaintiff was quite scared and realized she was in a very dangerous situation. Plaintiff was also feeling the effects of the tequila shot and quickly suspected that tequila was spiked. At that point, the situation escalated. Okay, who was serving the tequila? Was it the De Leon bottle? I'm kind of wondering who was serving the tequila. So that's not normal for a yacht. That would need more people, right? Like, don't they need more servers? Especially in a shift that's like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'm kind of wondering, like, is there more? But then again, I don't know. I mean, I would think that there'd be more depending because this is like a wholesome, like somebody said in the chat, wholesome family. You kind of have to wonder how many people are there. I just have a lot of questions. That's all. Just a lot. Um, Hold up. Let me see what's going on. Okay, let's keep reading. Shout out to everybody. They probably had bartenders and servers. They're not mentioning them. Well, is she the only one that's serving? Because this is what I'm wondering. It's like, did her tequila get spiked? Did she serve her own drink or did somebody else serve her drink? How did, like, because it could be the effects of like the ocean and all this other stuff. Like, I'm just wondering different factors that could play into that. Wim, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Wow, you've been a member that long? That's crazy. Thank you, thank you. Says take care of yourself, Robin. I'm trying. I got a lot of stuff I might have to, go off and blow my nose. All right, it will get into that. Thank you, neuropsych. Okay, so plaintiff was quite scared and realized that she was in a dangerous situation, very dangerous. Plaintiff was also feeling the effects of the tequila shots, quickly suspected that tequila was spiked. At that point, the situation escalated, and plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by Combs. He touched plaintiff's legs, breasts, anus, and vagina. He also tried to kiss her and proceeded to kiss her neck, face, and hands. The timeline at this point is very blurry and vague to plaintiff, as she does not recall exactly what happened to her due to the effects of the spiked tequila shot. So here they're saying that it's spiked. So that they're making that assertion that it's spiked. Luckily for plaintiff and due to defendant Escombe's insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has an audio, of defendant C. Combs drugging and sexually assaulting the plaintiff. So then we have an audio. All right? We have an audio. Yeah, get better. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you. Get better, get better. Oh, Wim, thank you, Wim. If you guys got a membership from Wim, put a heart in the chat. Thank you, Wim. So below is a transcript. Defendant C. Combs forcing plaintiff to consume the suspected lace of De Leon tequila. He says, C. Combs, yo, it's shots o'clock. Plaintiff, no, I am not doing shots, Christian. C. Combs, everybody, we got to take a shot. Okay, so that's audio 1. Audio 2. Plaintiff, I'll just put the ledge. The defendant Seacombe says, no, take the whole thing. Plaintiff, no, you will take it as well. Seacombs, take the whole shot. Plaintiff, I'm only doing it as long as you take it as well. Seacombs, I ain't gonna lie, I am not taking nothing. Please take the shot. Plaintiff, you are drugging me? Defendant, take the shot. Hey, yo, play another beat one time because now, and then below is a transcript of defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff. They hear the me and you, Cassie, playing in the background. Plaintiff says this is not an offer. Plaintiff says this is not an offer. Defendant Combs says you said what? Plaintiff says, I can't. I'm swapping out. I can't do it. I'm sorry, darling. Holmes says, now we need you. So she's saying, I'm swapping out of the shift, right? Plaintiff says, I'm going to stop. I have to go. Honestly, I'm like already losing sleep. I have to go now. Holmes says, you're the best one on this ship, though. Plaintiff says, what do you mean? Holmes says, who's going to replace you? Who's going to replace you? Plaintiff says, who's going to replace me? Defendant says, fuck that. That's going to be trash. So you feel me? Plaintiff, excuse me. You don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. Plaintiff says, if I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my leg like that. This is what plaintiff says. Holmes says, listen, you and everybody in the crew, it's great. Plaintiff, I can't. I have to go down. Defendant, no, no, yo, tell me, listen, what? Says the plaintiff. Like, say you're just vibing with me the whole time. I can't. I promise. I wish I could, but I can't unless I say that you guys requested me. That's plaintiff. Combs says, yes. Who can I talk to right now? Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you. Plaintiff says, well, you can take your head off my ass for the first thing. Whoa. So they have this on audio? I'm Me, you is like, Rabbit, you're struggling. I'm trying. DB, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Shout out to you. Says this makes my skin crawl. It does, but they have this on audio? That's like insane. Now, okay. Tyrone Blackburn has this on audio. The audio has to be vetted. The audio has to be like, listen, you guys, I'm concerned for this, for the people that are working, for the victims that are working with this attorney. I'm just going to tell you how I feel because of what I've seen. Okay. You said, look, I honestly feel like Little Rod was paid, and given what he was promised, he wouldn't have said anything. And then you made another comment that was interesting. What would have happened if, okay, I read that one. There was another one that you said about Tyrone Blackburn that I wanted to read. I'm a little concerned. Yes, the audio that I sent you allegedly, Chico. You mean is the audio release? Right, things that could make you go, that's why J-Lo's scared right now of that sex tape, of the fake real sex tape. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering because it's like, what is going on, you guys? Okay, so they have this on audio recording. You did see, I missed it. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Blame the build up over here. Hold up. Let me see. So they released this audio. See, how come I can't? I don't know what. Why are you doing this to me, Discord? Hold up, Chico. Did you send it to me privately? I thought I was gonna. I hadn't seen it. It's out there. Is it the last video from Law and Crime, Chico? Let me know. I want to know. Hold up, Deborah. You ain't never lie. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm going. I'm going. Sorry, I can't find it, but here it is. Here it is from the World Star. I think this is it right here. So this is the alleged recording. Okay, well, let me give you a huge trigger warning. I think this is it right here. Oh Lord, these ads. See if I can mute them. Skip this ad.
Part of a lawsuit that accuses Christian Holmes, Sean Diddy Combs' son, of sexual assault. The music mogul is not accused of sexual assault in the lawsuit, but is included over allegations of liability and aiding and abetting. The lawsuit cites audio from a makeshift recording studio on the yacht where the alleged assault happened. This is the latest in a series of lawsuits filed against the rap mogul and businessman. Both men, father and son, deny the allegations against them. CNN national correspondent Camila Bernal joining me live with details on this. Camila, what more are you learning?
Hey, Fred. So in this audio that CNN has listened to, you can specifically hear the accuser who alleges that she was being forced to take this tequila shot that she believed was laced with drugs. And in the audio, you can hear her asking Christian Combs if she was being drugged. And he answers, take the shot. Now, just to put things into perspective, the accuser was a crew member on the yacht. She was a bartender. And she says that shortly after this incident with the shot, She says she was cornered in a room. She says things
That's
became
scary.
aggressive and physical, and then says that Christian Combs forced himself on her, and then says that it wasn't until another employee on the yacht came into this room that the abuse that she is alleging in this 31-page lawsuit stopped. And she says it only stopped because that person came.
So we have to authenticate this law. Now, only that we have to authenticate the audio. Here's my question. And I don't love that this lawyer is putting out so much out there at stage and not waiting for discovery. Why is Tyrone Blackburn putting this evidence that has yet to be authenticated out there? That's the part that makes it look like a damn shakedown. That's the part that makes it look like he doesn't prioritize his victims over social media. Please, why are you doing this? And this is what he did on Tiny and T.I. This is what made me start side-eyeing him 2.5 years ago. Because let me tell you, he is not in it for the victims. He's in it for a fucking settlement. That's what this is about. What was the reason for this? Thank you. Why? Why not protect your victim? Why not protect the people that you're representing? Because they're going to be torn to shreds on social media already, first of all, for coming out and speaking. And second of all, for this fucking audio that you already know we're going to pull it. Does it sound like that audio over there? Does it sound like these are music producers, you guys? It's the music industry, the fucking shady music industry. So what's the reason for this? Somebody asked Tyrone Blackburn for that. Why is he doing this? Why is it more important for this to be out here than it is to be in a fucking courtroom? Why? Somebody answer that.
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
what was the reason?
Yes, and that's Serge. It's like he does. You guys don't even like. I have a fucking playlist from almost 3 years ago of the Tiny and T.I. and Sabrina Peterson. And so it's like he's done the same exact thing to every fucking case. This man should not be touching victims' cases whatsoever. He just shouldn't, because he's been doing this for a long time. And listen, I sound congested, I'm sick, but not like this really got. Oneida, you said the right thing right there, because that really got me going.
Came into the room. Now, I want to read part of what the accuser's attorney is saying right now. What he's saying is defendant Sean Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. It resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and for her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, sex work, and general chaos. Now, why are they naming Diddy in all of this? And it is partially because he was leasing that yacht. Now, he is not accused of sexual assault, but he is accused in this lawsuit of liability and aiding and abetting because he was the one renting the yacht. Now, his attorney, or actually the attorney for both men, also speaking out and denying these allegations, saying this complaint is filled with manufactured lies and irrelevant facts. We will be filing a motion to dismiss this.
Watch what's gonna happen. So they gave this audio to who? Wasn't it like NBC News? They gave it to another source, right? It hasn't been verified. It hasn't been nothing authenticated, but it's the fact that it's out there that really does bring up some issues, right? Now everybody's gonna want to see this audio. Let me tell you something. Sabrina Peterson, when the Tiny T.I. stuff happened, the reason why Sabrina Peterson spoke out, it wasn't because she was concerned for the victims or of Tiny and T.I. No. That's not how it happened. What happened is that Sabrina Peterson got into an argument with Tiny, okay? Allegedly, I mean, whatever they do in their bedroom, that's them. Apparently, they had this whole little menage a trois shit going on. That's them, okay? Sabrina Peterson decided to do a polygraph test on live, right? She puts this out there, and everybody's out there kind of like totally misrepresenting the truth. And then at the end of the day, she gets sued. And she's still till this day collecting victims of the Harrises, of the Tiny and T.I. Harris. It's a clusterfuck, you guys. All of this. All of them. All of them.
This outrageous claim. Again, they have continued to say that this is something that they will fight, that they are innocent in all of this. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out in court, if it gets to court or if it gets settled at some point, which has been the case with a previous lawsuit. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens as Diddy and his son continue to say they're innocent, and the victims here continue to say that they were sexually assaulted, Fred.
And so while Music Mogul.
Wait, Chico, can you it's not on this thing. Let me know. Can you send it to me in the message? Sorry. I know we have a lot of messages and I need to go back. But the actual audio is out there. Send it to me in the message, please. And I mean, I'll see if the creator, if I know the creator or whatnot, you know, I'll definitely give them credit. Thank you. I'm just letting you guys know. It's all of them. They like, if you put out there, you said it's been out there, but who put it out there? I'm late, y'all. I'm congested. You said it's out there. Yeah, if you could tag me on it, please, Chico. Thank you. Love you. I didn't know it was out there. I thought it was just in the court filings. I didn't know it was out there. See, so has it been vetted yet? Do we know that if it's real, like, you know, we're gonna tear that shit apart, right? We're gonna look at it. We're gonna interpret different things from it. Because that's what the internet does. This man doesn't prioritize whatsoever any of his. This man and a lot of the other attorneys, let's just be real, they don't prioritize shit. They don't. And I want to shout out DJ Academics, who I found I found this clip and I wanted to talk a little bit about this. This is also very old, but it definitely highlights Tyrone Blackburn and the way in which he moves as an attorney. I don't know. You said, can y'all hear me? I'm congested. I'm so congested right now. So yeah, if I didn't catch up to messages or read anything, don't be mad at me. Don't blame it on me. I'll wait for your message, Chico. Thank you. Okay, let me play some of this because this is very relevant. This is Hollywood Unlocked. And Jason Lee starts exposing Tyrone Blackburn. Now, this is from 2022. September 2022. So this is quite some time. So this will let you kind of tie in the different things. And now you understand a little bit more of who Tyrone Blackburn is. Tyrone Blackburn has shown himself very much so.
Or die.
Hold up.
You remember how dumb those skits were? They were inappropriate as fuck. Thank you, Bridget.
Let me go back a little bit. Now, the thing about Jason Lee is that I think he has, I don't know if he's been diagnosed, but he's got some ADHD where he kind of goes off a little bit. And I'm like, get it together, Jason Lee, get it together. Is this it right here?
Anyway, I think Cardi should sue YouTube, but that's just me. No, whatever.
Okay.
Now, I said I don't know what's going on because I asked Tyrone to interview Jennifer. He told me he's going to interview Jennifer, but he said she's not doing interviews. Then that same day, she was over there on YouTube having a conversation with a YouTuber.
So Jason Lee starts talking about Tyrone Blackburn and the Jennifer Huff case. The Jennifer Huff case is that lawsuit between Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty, Jennifer Huff. Like, that case right there is interesting in the various holes that it goes into, right? That it might. You said, I don't know how you could. That's the question. That's the question that we all have. It's been going on for quite some time, but Tyrone Blackburn, Tyrone Blackburn has been practicing law for like more than 3 years. He's a fairly new attorney. I mean, he was fairly new when he got into Tiny and T.I. And people were telling him, you really need to like get like some co-counsel or something to help you out. People were saying that. When he came on the scenes, I mean, he really stirred up some shit in the industry because of how he was approaching things.
So I thought it was kind of sketchy, and I called Tyrone out about that because I was like, yo, it's kind of sketchy. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay. I'm not a flip-flopper, but I talk about what shit looks like when I know what I know. And I speak on what I know when I know it. And if it looked like a dog when it's a dog, it's a dog. When it looked like a cat, when that dog starts going, it's a cat. So I think Tyrone Blackburn is a punk-ass bitch. And I'm going to get into it today.
All right, hurry up,
he's
Jason.
a punk. I think he's a user. I think he's a liar. I think he's a fraud. I think he is involved with extortion. I think he's extorting Nicki Minaj. I think he's extorting T.I. and Tiny. I think there needs to be an FBI investigation.
I think I need a button that like allows me to beep, beep, beep. Every time you drop in a curse word, beep.
I am not saying that Nicki Minaj is not petty, washed up, tired, overweight, angry. I'm not saying none of that, because everything I've ever said about Nicki Minaj, I stand behind. I'm not afraid of her. What I'm saying.
So he's got the thing about Jason Lee's got some beef with some of these celebrities. I like Nicki Minaj. Do I like all of her decisions? No, but whatever. That's her life. Let her do what she does.
I do believe that she is the victim of being extorted. Who is Tyrone, may you ask? Well, let me show you. This is Tyrone Blackburn. Welcome to the show. Tyrone Blackburn is an attorney. He's been an attorney for probably 3 years, maybe a little longer. He doesn't have a lot of talent, but he's the attorney who's suing T.I. and Tiny for sexual rape allegations, where he said that they drugged and raped women and trafficked women. And he's doing that lawsuit with somebody who's been on this show. Her name is Sabrina Peterson. Do we have her picture? This is Sabrina Peterson. Now,
I love that Jason is doing this introduction. Yeah, but this is the woman who came out with the allegations, and there were, according to her, there were several women that were contacting her about Tiny and T.I., about being trafficked, about being raped, about different allegations. The thing about Sabrina Peterson, why her credibility is shot, is because, well, first of all, she victimizes people. Let's just put that out there. She actually stabbed a woman and went to prison for it. All right. I had to, man. I had to, because Jason Lee has like the worst ADHD, and it's just like, get it together, Jason Lee. Let's go back. So I have to use the transcript. So she's collecting these victims, but Sabrina Peterson herself has a bone to pick with Tiny and T.I. She does. I mean, she was friends with them. She goes from suddenly, like, she's like a month before the fallout, they were going to parties, everything was cool. She was having her kids come over, call them uncles, yada yada yada. And then she falls out with them for whatever reason, and she starts going on a rampage. Sabrina is no saint. Let me just say this. There's another, I don't know if you guys know her, but her name is Shekinah Joe, another like friend celebrity from the reality TV. They were also kind of in this, and Sabrina decides to buy her name out. The lady had to get a restraining order. She gets on another lawsuit. It's just a mess. Okay, a mess, a mess, a mess. Hey, Poe, a mess.
Now, let me say this. I like Sabrina Peterson. Sabrina Peterson has been on this show, and I respect the fact that she gave me the privilege of interviewing her about her charges against T.I. and Tiny, but I don't know anymore.
Oh, see?
I don't know anymore, because what's happening right now, I think there needs to be an FBI investigation. I think the federal government needs to look into what's happening, because something ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. And when you try me, that's when I know. Because if you try me, bitch, you are a courageous motherfucker. Because you know I'm going to come up here and talk shit, but let me break it all down. I'm going to take my time with this. But let me be very clear. This week's deep dive, I'm addressing Nicki Minaj, Tyrone Blackburn, Rolling Stone, any motherfucker who wants to try me.
Oh my God.
Any motherfucker who wants to try me. This show is for you. Share the live.
Yeah, so this is what Jason Lee was advocating. And like I said, Tyrone Blackburn is friends with Sabrina Peterson. How is Sabrina Peterson finding herself enmeshed to any of this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How is it? How'd that happen? It's a lot. It's a lot to consume. I'm looking through the transcript on Jason Lee, because he kind of gets into the dragging of different things. Let me go over here, right here. Hold up.
I think he is involved with extortion. I think he's extorting Nicki Minaj. Tyrone Blackburn is an attorney. He's been an attorney for probably 3 years, maybe a little longer. He doesn't have a lot of talent, but he's the attorney who's suing T.I. and Tiny for sexual rape allegations, where he said that they drugged and raped women.
Yep, he did say that. He did say that. Sorry, y'all. I'm going through the transcript right quick. so I could put this in here.
That okay, so you heard the audio. Anyway, that's Jax, that's Garcelle. Now, Garcelle interviewed Jennifer Hope. Jennifer was with her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn. Put a photo of Tyrone back up. I'm going to make sense of all this. This is Tyrone Blackburn.
So Tyrone Blackburn is representing the Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty alleged victim. I believe that lawsuit was dropped, that harassment lawsuit, or at least Nicki Minaj was dropped out of that. So keep that in mind. I mean, this is what he does in his representation.
Thank you, Jameer. Tyrone Blackburn is the attorney for the woman suing Nicki Minaj and her husband. Tyrone Blackburn is also the attorney who's suing T.I. and Tiny. I'm going to make sense out of all this. Let's back up. Now, let's be very clear. T.I. and Tiny have not been convicted. Nicki's husband has been convicted and has served his time. There's no doubt that that Nicki Minaj's husband has been convicted of sexual assault. We've read it. We read it here on the show. I'm not here saying that never happened. What I'm saying is that I believe there is a bigger thing happening with this guy. Put his face up again. Tyrone Blackburn. And I'm going to show you why, because he tried me.
Yes.
Now, I interviewed the woman, Sabrina Peterson, who claimed that T.I. put a gun to her head. Johnny, how fucking much time? Talk to me on my speaker do I have?
1 minute, 20 seconds.
I can't do shit in a minute, 20 seconds. I need longer assets. I can't even take a shit or pee. All right? Can you go
all right, come on.
Fill the coffee machine up with water. And then, in fact, just run it. Or she was disrespecting Tiny.
Hold up, y'all. This is too
30
much.
seconds. Take a look. What was said on Instagram that I understand is you and Tiny were friends, and then she had an assistant. You and her and the assistant get into it, right? Or she was disrespecting Tiny. And then you, sticking up for Tiny, got into it with the assistant. And then you all got into a physical fight. And the way T.I. intervened, instead of pulling you off, he put a gun to your head.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there when that
The fight was over.
Okay.
He didn't get there to maybe like 30 or 45 minutes afterwards.
So the fight was completely over?
Yeah.
And everything was calm?
Yeah.
So then he pulls up, and then what happens?
He stomps up the steps. Where that bitch at? Where that bitch at? Bitch, I'll kill you. I'm talking with a gun. Bitch, I'll kill you. And he takes the gun, puts the gun in my head. Bitch, I'll kill you. Bitch, I'll kill you.
Wait, the gun touched your head?
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been in those kind of scenarios, but
no,
like,
not like that.
But like at the instant, like a person just kind of talking themselves into kind of doing it. Like, bro, for real, like, like if you was gonna do that, you should have used it.
But what was your reaction to it when it was happening?
My reaction to it, I don't remember my words verbatim.
Were you scared? Did you think he would do it?
I didn't know what he was gonna do. Like, it's all like, flashes, that kind of deal. I didn't know. I just know from that day forward, I was pissed off and extremely angry.
At him or at Tiny or both?
Both. Like, you get your dude.
Was she there when he did that?
No, she was in the hospital.
Why was she in the hospital?
She had just had a miscarriage.
Now, let me say this as a very full disclaimer. I like Sabrina Peterson, and it's something about her. I know that she has a sketchy past. A lot of you told me, oh, she's been convicted of this. She stabbed her friend. She's not anybody to be trusted. She's all this and that. I don't know. It's something about Sabrina that I feel personally, she's straight up and down. What you see is what you get. That's what I get from Sabrina. So I like Sabrina. So I just want to be very clear. Now, what she has going on with Tyrone or not, what relationship she had with Tyrone or not. Again, let me show you Nicki Minaj. Do we have a picture of Nicki Minaj? Let's put any picture of Nicki, any picture. This is Nicki Minaj, any picture. Okay. That's Nicki Minaj. Damn, her hair was laid then, huh? Nicki was such a, damn, she just ruined everything. You can't even look at a picture of her. Let me show you Tyrone Blackburn. He's suing Nicki Minaj and her husband. Now, he's not suing her. I don't know what, anyway. And do we have a picture of T.I. and Tiny? Okay, we don't have a picture of T.I. and Tiny. Okay, well, anyway, we know what they look like. She's an escape. He's a rapper. Okay. What happens when people get sued with celebrities? You can ruin somebody's entire brand by putting out a lawsuit, even if it's not true or not. Now, if T.I. and Tiny, I think a lot of us, when you think of T.I. and Tiny, we definitely think of the sex assault case.
Yeah.
We definitely think of the charges. We definitely think they have already been convicted in the court of public opinion, period. So they're already guilty in the public eye. They've never been convicted.
Thank you. And Chico said, I ain't gonna lie, there's been rumors about T.I. and Tiny down there in the South and how they get down the bedroom. I've heard of NDAs. I've heard of different things. I've heard of all kinds of shit, right? But they haven't been convicted. In the court of public opinion, though, I feel like you hear Tiny and T.I., you hear freaks. Like, but that's not against the law. I mean, if that's how they get down, I'm just saying.
They've been, in fact, I think we reported in Las Vegas or somewhere, one of the charges against them was dropped. Okay. Remember, it started out with Sabrina Peterson and the gun to her head. Then it went on with this one and this one. Then she kind of got drugged. Remember, this all played out in front of all of us.
Yep.
Well, Tyrone Blackburn is in the center of all this. And I learned a lot about Tyrone over this last week with the whole Tiffany Haddish case. Now, do we have a picture of Tiffany Haddish? Let me show you a picture of Tiffany Haddish. We got to have an asset of Tiffany Haddish. I mean, she's in the show. Okay, well, 72 assets. Y'all know what Tiffany looked like. I don't need to pull up anything. Well, do you have the assets of what I said on Instagram? Do you have those Instagram assets? If you don't, pull them right now. Pull a picture of me and Tiffany so we can have it in the show. Pull up the video of
Oh my God, come on.
The caption of what I said on the Eddie Murphy post, and pull up the caption in the photo that I posted in support of Tiffany. Because I think a lot of you that don't read, the same people who try to drag me for the queen, didn't see what was said. And I'll let you run with your narrative because it was fucking funny to watch you clowns jump up and down in my comments like baboons. Oh my God, he's supporting. You fucking dumb. Let me first start by saying somebody who is a survivor of child molest. I've been molested twice. I wrote about it in a book. Thank you. I wrote about it in a book. I am a survivor. I'm not a victim. I survived it. I went on to write a book about it to empower other people to be survivors. And I just launched a foundation and initiatives to help children because I'm an advocate for kids. I don't attack kids on my platform. Never have, never will.
All right, let's
And
get
I
it
don't
together.
support
Let's
or
go.
befriend people who attack or hurt kids. And I love to believe that I know people and that I know who I'm dealing with. And I know that Tiffany Haddish is one of the most amazing advocate for women who are survivors of sex assault. She's been sexually assaulted, domestic abuse survivors, and she's a former foster kid. And she's somebody that's went through the system. And so I know her.
So I know of Tiffany. Believe it or not, I've actually had encounters with Tiffany Haddish. She actually did this thing where she donated suitcases to foster kids. Yeah, in person, she's a nice person. I've met her before. I don't have anything bad to say. Now, the allegations that were put out there about her and Ari Spears were very concerning. But yeah, I mean, keep that in mind. She has donated before. She did this thing where she donated a bunch of suitcases, and she did it because she grew up in the foster care system. And one of the things that's very true is like kids are having like when they move around to places for placement. Typically they're moving around with like trash bags, or like every once in a while they'll have like a suitcase or a bag. And so what she did is that she donated a bunch of suitcases, for any kids that needed like placement and stuff like that. And then she did like a comedy show for free. I mean, she's in person, she's a nice person. So when these allegations came out, I mean, they were very troubling, what I heard.
I know her heart. I know how pure she is. But let me be clear. I know that as a friend, I've also told her that video I saw was trash. And I think that the video was a stupid skit. But those of you who are old enough to remember Funny or Die, you remember how dumb those skits were. They were inappropriate as fuck. Thank you, Bridget. They were.
So then Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears, the way this goes is that they did this like skit, and it featured a child. And Ali, I believe, I haven't followed this case very well, but I believe some allegations came out of that, and the family of the child hired Tyrone Blackburn to go after Tiffany Haddish or whatever, and it became a huge thing on social media. This is not a case that I followed, but he was also involved in that case, right? So Jason Lee is explaining that part, okay? And he's explaining his involvement with Tyrone Blackburn.
Attorney is for the family who was behind the extortion of Tiffany Haddish. Let me show you their picture. Tyrone Blackburn. Now, I'm just going to put this out because this is the first time the world is hearing this, because he did it in a way, motherfucker, he did it in a way. Let me tell you how I do the Lord's work and how I find these receipts, honey. Let me tell you how I find the receipts, honey.
Look at this.
Tiffany didn't tell me. Let me tell you how I find the motherfucking receipts. But let me set it up. Tiffany, about a year ago, told me she was being extorted. Just a friend. You know how you be on the phone with your friend like, girl, what you doing? Man, fucking this bitch, baby daddy, what you doing? Getting extorted. You know how that go, right? Okay. So on a conversation on the phone,
let me just say, I don't get on the phone and be like, hey, are we getting extorted? Yes, thank you, sorry. I know I was smaller. Shout out to you. They tried really hard to help her bounce back after the allegations, but she hasn't been successful then, right? Or since. Now, like I said, I'm not familiar with the case. I just know that Tyrone Blackburn was involved. And I mean, listen, a civil case can kill just about anybody financially. It can kill a career too, right? So keep that in mind. But to me, the way I encountered Tiffany Haddish back then, and it was just a one time, and she was doing something nice for those kids in foster care because she was a former child as well. So she's coming from a place of like wanting to help and give. And that was many years ago that this happened. So yeah, keep that in mind.
She said, and I did not, let me be very clear. I did not ask Tiffany if I can have permission to share this because I don't need her permission to do my job. I didn't ask her, I didn't tell Tiffany I was going to talk about this today because I don't need to talk to her about what I'm doing. I don't need her permission. Tiffany Haddish don't run Jason Lee. I don't run Tiffany Haddish. But a year ago, she told me, because we were talking about success and stress with, as friends, talking, how you talk to your friend about how stressful your job is. She told me she was being extorted. I was like, what? She was like, this girl that I was friends with for a long time. I used to help her and her family when I could. She's a friend of mine. She's been extorting me because there's a video I did years ago that's tacky, that I didn't even want out, that I wasn't even fully aware of. And when I saw the video after it was done and published, I demanded they take it down and nobody would take it down. And so it finally was taken down, but this person has been threatening to extort me, threatening to put the video out, and is mad because I won't put them in a comedy skit. I'm like, really? Because you won't put them in a comedy skit because you won't give them no money, they're gonna extort you? This is what she told me. So I was like, she was like, how do you think I should handle it? I'm like, I think you should call the feds. I'm telling her that you should do this, you should do that. Anyway, Tiffany is just, I'm gonna tell you, if you don't know who Tiffany is, she's literally one of the nicest people ever. She don't want no drama with nobody. She don't want to see nobody black go down. She still lives in her community in the hood. She's she's working on launching a grocery store for black people to bring healthy food to our communities. She has a foundation where she gives kids who are in group homes and foster homes luggage, so that way their stuff isn't thrown in trash. She's a supportive friend. I know this person's heart. So I hadn't seen.
Oh, was I muted? Sorry, y'all. See, this is what happens. I'm so congested. I said, listen, I've encountered, it's like, I wish I could read lips. Why y'all making fun of me? Stop making fun of me. I am congested and I'm trying to get through this. We're going to get there. So stop it. Stop laughing at me. You are not allowed. See, and what I said was, this is what I was saying. I said, look, allegedly, what I've heard is, what I've encountered is that Tiffany was very nice when she gave those suitcases to those kids. And she did what she did. But I don't know, like clearly she has some other issues that she needs to address. So keep that in mind. But allegedly, this is what I was saying. This is Jason's side of the story.
In the video, but I heard what she told me. She didn't even tell me all the details. She just said the video was trash and that she was embarrassed she did it or whatever. And this is at a time where she had no money and she was hired to do a job by Aries Spears and she needed the cash. And she wasn't fully aware of everything until it aired. And she asked him to take it down, but he refused.
Ooh.
Now, ironically, when the Aries Spears attacked Lizzo, I was like, oh shit, this is the perfect time to go after Tiffany and Aries because Aries is hot right now. Everybody's talking about Aries. So anyway, that's when the story broke that Tiffany Haddish, that a confidential complaint was filed by a Jane Doe that Tiffany Haddish had sexually assaulted her kid, and that she was accused of child molestation and grooming a 14-year-old girl and her 7-year-old brother. Now, Tiffany had said that the lawsuit is part of an extortion attempt. She said it in TMZ through her attorney, and I said it when I posted on my post. Did you have my post yet? Okay, this was the post I posted with Tiffany's picture in my caption. Please post it because I want to read it for. No,
look at
that's
this.
Not the, okay, that's the picture. Whatever. I said this is my entire post. It's for those of you who are paying attention because a lot of you motherfuckers don't read, so I'm going to post this. I said this post is to make two things clear. One, I'll be addressing and reporting on the Aries Spears comedy skit that aired in 2013 and has caused outrage 9 years later. And to be clear that I love and support Tiffany Haddish. We can all agree that the video that many of us saw years ago is cringy and made in poor taste. But are we canceling someone who is the subject of an extortion play? Nah, big facts coming soon. Now, couple facts. One, I said a video we saw years ago. I didn't see it. We meaning it's been out in the universe of the internet since 2013, which is 9 years ago. That's a fact. The second fact is that I said I love and support my friend. I didn't say I love and supported the video. And a lot of you try to drag me saying that I support pedophilia and that I supported the video. No, I believe three things are true. I believe that you can support your friend who you believe in and who you know is being extorted, and you can also condemn their work. And I did both of those. What you wanted me to do was trash her and talk bad about her like I do a woman who's married to a rapist. and who supports a brother who had sex with his 12-year-old daughter.
All right,
Set
let's
step
go.
back.
Come on, Jason.
Two different things, apples and oranges. Tiffany was a part of a bad project that was trash and never should have even been filmed, but she didn't groom and molest a child. So I'm not going to call my friend.
I'm jumping ahead.
Interview that was already filmed and being edited, and I signed a release for prior to the call. Let's put it back up because y'all getting all these don't get these assets wrong because I'm laying this shit out. Part of my storytelling is my team laying these motherfucking shit out. I said to him, this is the wrong fucking asset.
All right, hold up. So let me go back a little bit. You said Tiffany's not a nice person, neither is this guy Jason. I've heard some stuff about him as well. Ooh, I just hope that everyone focuses on the victims in this Diddy case. I've heard Jason. Here's the deal though, Miss Mary. Like, honestly, I hear that, and people have said to me, like, why can't we focus on this is Tyrone Blackburn and this whole situation is a distraction to the victims. That's the problem that I have with that, is that I feel like attorneys like him can actually be like really fuck up a case like that. They do. So it becomes a social media witch hunt to find truth. And then you have people like myself, other bloggers that will kind of go in there and try to figure out like what is the truth or what actually happened. And I think that that's the piece is, we don't have to like any of these characters. Tiffany Haddish, nobody else, but it gets really muddied. Things get really muddied when we don't have actual receipts and facts of what has actually happened in this case. And then you also then have attorneys like him that will fuck things up. What happened to all these 32 victims that came out in Tiny and T.I.? Y'all remember that? If you've been following, 32 victims. What happened to them? What happened to all those criminal referrals in the jurisdictions that he put for these alleged crimes? I mean, when this came out, Tiny and T.I. were facing RICO charges. They were saying that they were going to be the next R. Kelly out of the situation. So that's a piece that's like it does a huge disservice. I personally don't think that, my opinion, I don't think that it's taking away. It's putting out the shit for what it is out on Front Street. That some of these attorneys don't have our best interests. They just don't. They don't. And they do what they may and get away with shit. That's what they do. That's just my thought though. I mean, y'all don't have to agree with my opinion because it's just my opinion, but that's just how I see it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course. So this is the crazy part, that this part, how Jason Lee gets involved in all this stuff with Tiffany Haddish and just everything that happened with her.
Called me and she said, my attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, got a call from somebody about Tiffany Haddish.
This is Sabrina Peterson telling Jason Lee about Tiffany Haddish, saying, my friend, remember, Sabrina Peterson and Tyrone Blackburn are friends, got a call from somebody about Tiffany Haddish.
Well, she's like, do you know anything about this case? I said, yes. She told me a year ago that she was that she's being extorted. I got a lot of information. I'll give him the receipt. Now, mind you, I'm giving him the receipt because I know he's representing against T.I. and I'm getting an exclusive from his client, and I'm pursuing the shit they doing on Nicki Minaj, really feeling like all this shit is real shit. And I'm getting access and they're giving it to me. Not thinking I could be getting played. So I said, did you tell Tyrone that I said that I would only interview you if he dropped the case against Tiffany? Because that's crazy. That never happened. She was like, absolutely not. Then she sent that text. Now, I then hit Tyrone to ask if he was representing the siblings. And this is the photo what Tyrone said. Actually, I didn't hit him. Sabrina said. This is Sabrina texting him, and she sent me this receipt. She asked me not to share, but fuck it. It is what it is. She said to him on September 1st, when the story came out, you did the Tiffany case? Question mark. He said, no, I did not file it, and I'm not their representative. She said, wow, they did it on their own. It's not looking good for them on winning. He said, some lawyer will probably represent them or the court will appoint one. I've seen the comments, and it looks like Tiffany areas are being dragged. The whole time, Sabrina and I on the phone, like, what? And I said to Sabrina, he's behind this. Let me show you that text again, because I'm about to show you how you try to play. Go back and show that text. He said, I did not file it, and I'm not their representative. He didn't file it because Jane Doe filed it on her own, but she got advised by somebody, and he's not their representative, but he didn't say he wasn't consulting them. It's going to get better. Now, I told her about the claim that I brought her this interview for Tyrone to drop the case against Tiffany, and this is what she had to say. Take a photo of Sabrina on talking to me on text about the Rolling Stone thing. Johnny, no, not the audio. I said the photo. Put the y'all got all these assets. Put the text of her. I think it was the one you just showed.
I would not want to work for Jason Lee. Sorry, Jason. You just not the audio. This is why I'm like, this is so distracting. You cannot get to the point. Get to the point, Jason Lee.
Put that back up where she said, no, there was a text where I text her. I gotta go run the board too. There's a text that I sent Ariella. I'm gonna put Ariella in here and turn your mic on. I'm putting y'all both on this motherfucker because y'all gonna get this shit right. Show the receipt. Show the receipt where she said, and I'll be clear, she said that he was not representing her. Or I sent Sabrina the Rolling Stone link and she commented after. Show that receipt. I'll wait. I got all night. I ain't going nowhere.
Johnny, that's the one where she says, wow, I'm waiting to get to him.
Walk him through the receipts, please. I know what I sent over.
Oh, I didn't know he ran his show like that. Hold up, yo. This is too much. You see how he rolled his eyes?
Don't tell us to wait. Put it up. Come on. We waiting. Everybody waiting. Everybody around the country and world is waiting right now for this receipt. Come on, Johnny. You got it.
5.9.3.
Start calling out numbers. We got 72 assets. I sent this to Sabrina Peterson. She said, wow, I'm waiting to get him on the line. He definitely is behind this case. I honestly think that he felt sorry for those kids and didn't know how to let them down. I said, that's not an excuse to lie. And I can't help but wonder who else he's lying about. No way he got this confused in translation. She said, I think he handled this wrong. My prayer is that he will be 1000% transparent when we ask him about this. So at least the trust isn't diminished. I think he made an amateur misstep after our conversation. All right. Well, then, so she admitted that she believed too that he was under the case. Come on, fast forward. Now, this is a photo of Sabrina confirming Tyrone versus Tiffany. What number is that, Ariella? Give him the case number.
Y'all see the craziness? Why is Tyrone talking to Sabrina Peterson about a case that's not related to her? And if he's doing with this case, just imagine what he's doing with the other cases.
Do you have the receipt, Johnny?
That was the same one. That was the same one.
Oh, y'all got so many receipts with the receipt. Was that the same one? What y'all got?
That was the same one. She said he is definitely behind this case.
Okay, well, you put it in twice. Okay, now, Tyrone, I thought he blocked this because all of the texts were green. Okay, and they went straight to voicemail. Now, let me show you the green text that I sent to Tyrone myself. Johnny, you ain't got a bunch of green text. That's not it. I don't want nothing like that. Take all that off. Redo the assets where we can read it. Can't nobody read all that.
Oh my God.
It's the asset where I sent the that one right there. I said, so basically Rolling Stone is saying that Sabrina only interviewed with me because you agreed to not pursue this shit with Tiffany. This is outrageous. And if you're behind this bullshit, I'm going to address it. Clearly you didn't think about how this lie tears at all your credibility. Woo. Okay, thank you. Now, show Sabrina's response to that where she said that she will sign an affidavit and be very clear about what happened on the phone. Do we got that? Thank you. She said, not sure how this can be true because the only conversation me, Jason, and Tyrone had in reference to Tiffany's former friend was on or after June 4th, and the interview was already filmed in May. This interview I agreed to do with Hollywood Unlocked was based upon Jason being a very candid advocate for women and that have been victimized. This took place weeks prior to any conversation that Tyrone and Jason had in reference to Tiffany's friend. With Tyrone, if you need a sworn statement from me in reference to this, I agree to give it. I said, thanks, Sabrina, and I'll continue to support you and whatever. She said, thanks. I would like to clarify. I would like to clarify on this also because I'm not sure how Rolling Stone or any other client would be privy to any conversation that I had with my attorney, and this is an accurate context of the conversation. Now that's Sabrina in a text with her attorney and me clarifying that. Now I then said, fuck that. I'm on your asses because y'all playing it. So I created a text group with Sabrina. Go ahead and fix that. Plug it in. I can't read it. Take a charger. We've been here so long the fucking screen is dying. So we're gonna plug this shit in because we here all night till we get this shit out. Now I created a back up. I can't even see that. Go all the way back. I created a text group. Keep going all the way back. I go all the way back. You fast forward. I can see it.
Oh Lord, come on.
I then created a text group with Sabrina, Tyrone, my attorneys, Walter Mosley, and Kiana Fordham. And then I sent the Rolling Stone email and addressed Tyrone about it. Let me show you. This is the group text.
Jason, that's what you just read.
Was he in that? Well, then why did you guys put it in here twice?
No, there was the green text, which was the
no. Production fucked up. So I'm dragging everybody tonight. Y'all fucked up because y'all put it in here twice. Anyway.
Oh my God. So yeah. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's a mess. So here's my deal. This is really what this is about. If this attorney has the client's best interests, if he's representing victims, why are all these fucking people involved in the text messages? Why is he releasing audios before they've been authenticated? That's really what the question is. Why are we putting out such allegations without things being vetted? I'm just saying, like, he's reprimanding everybody on there. That's Jason Lee. Shout out to Jason Lee. No shade. But it's too much. So the Baller Alert wrote a article on DJ Academics, who also broke a lot of this down. So we're going to look into that. It basically says DJ Academics recently took his investigative skills to YouTube Live, unraveling the complex narrative behind lawyer Tyrone Blackburn's lawsuits against some of the biggest names. In a recent episode that got everyone buzzing, DJ Academics dropped some major insights into the world of celebrity lawsuits. And y'all, it's a story that reads like a Hollywood script. The twist began with Little Rob reached out for DJ Academics' number. And not even half an hour later, someone claiming to be Christian Combs' bodyguard hit Academics up with the track, alleging it featured Christian Combs spitting bars over a Cassie song. Talk about a plot twist, right? But it was this bizarre phone call that DJ Academics down a rabbit hole, leading to the spotlight being thrown on lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, known for his salacious lawsuits against celebrities. Academics didn't hold back, shedding light on Blackburn's history of suing high-profile names like Diddy, Nicki Minaj, T.I., and Tiny. According to Academics, Blackburn's MO seems less about justice and more about what looks like a shakedown, aiming to squeeze out settlements from these stars. Let's break this down. Diddy's yacht drama. Blackburn represents a woman claiming that she was sexually assaulted on Diddy's yacht. Yet, something's off, as Academic points out, of the lack of a federal investigation, despite the alleged victim's willingness to cooperate. So, Academics is saying this. Academics is saying, look, she's willing to cooperate with the civil matter, but is she willing to cooperate, or has she been cooperating with the federal investigation? That's what it reads, right? That's what I'm picking up. Okay. Christian Combs' accusations. Another lawsuit thrown at Diddy's son, Christian Combs, over an alleged assault on a yacht. Academics notes that Little Rod was also present that night. So is he going to be the only witness to that at this point, of that assault? Because if they're in the yacht, listen, is everybody drunk? Was everybody drunk? You kind of have to wonder that. You do. But also, like, what happened afterwards? I have a lot of questions, and I feel for the victims, like I said, because he put this out there instead of really being careful and mindful of the victims and having the victims' best interest. He puts out an audio, not really thinking about how is it gonna get dragged. You didn't even name her as a Jane Doe. Like, her name is out there, you guys. It's a lot. So Tiffany Haddish skit gone wrong. This is what Jason Lee was talking about. Academics brought to light a clip from the Jason Lee show where Jason puts Blackburn in the hot seat. The focus, his involvement in the lawsuit that accused Tiffany Haddish of participating in a child sex abuse skit. Academics showcased Jason Lee screenshots of chats, even played a call from Blackburn himself, laying bare accusations of Blackburn's employing what academics describe as extortion tactics for a financial payoff. Why is Tyrone Blackburn having conversations with people that are not party to the case about the case? Why are you talking to Sabrina Peterson? Why are you running this media thing? Like, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't. She's not part of the case. None of these people are. Jason Lee wasn't either. Why is he part of it too? All of them. Nicki Minaj, husband under fire. Kenneth Petty faced a lawsuit for alleged sexual assault with Blackburn, alleging trying to leverage media pressure against Nicki Minaj to settle. Nicki Minaj's lawyer labeled the attorney's conduct as disgraceful. There's actual articles out there of where Nicki Minaj's lawyer was saying, he needs to calm down because he was literally saying what he was saying about Nicki Minaj being a gang member, other people doing this. I mean, it was a bunch of shit. If the victims, if the allegations are what they are, there doesn't need to be extra to it. They are what they are, because that does a disservice to the victim and justice in general. So he is that settlement attorney. He is that attorney that's looking for a payout. He's not for the victims. He's never been. That's just my opinion from what I've seen. And I'm so glad from the time that Tiny and T.I. happened, I am so glad that so many other people are speaking about this because it has concerned me for so long. He doesn't have any ethics whatsoever, Kim. Like him and a lot of other people for sure, but him specifically, and he's targeting specific cases that are going to get him a payout. That's what he does. Kenneth Petty faced a lawsuit for alleged sexual assault with Blackburn alleging trying to leverage media pressure against Nicki Minaj to settle. Nicki Minaj's lawyer labeled the attorney's conduct as disgraceful and beyond shocking, pushing for sanctions. Minaj, alongside her legal team, argue that Tyrone Blackburn deserves significant repercussions. They're advocating for him to face financial penalties and a referral to the federal court attorney disciplinary committee. He needs it. This attorney needs it. And he's only been doing this for not even 4 years, not even 5 years. Their argument hinges on the claims that Blackburn has been engaging in frivolous and legal actions against Minaj, which they discovered as utterly deplorable. DJ Academics dives into these cases, exposes a pattern that's hard to ignore, raising questions about the intentions behind Blackburn's legal battles. It is a quest for justice, or is it a quest for justice or a strategic play for settlements? While Academics' insights offer a compelling look into these allegations, it's clear this saga is far from over, leaving us all watching closely to see what unfolds. Shout out to DJ Academics for putting that out there. And that was the Baller Alert article that really cut it down for me. And I mean, I know that I was kind of like, a lot of this, for those that don't really follow a lot of these cases, because I've been following some of the celebrity lawsuits and stuff like that. It's one of those things where you start kind of seeing tactics and you start kind of seeing how people move. And it's really disheartening for the victims, in my opinion. You can't, like, is this about justice or is this about something else? And even though it's a civil matter, and I get it, but at the end of the day, it starts becoming somewhat of a pattern that you start noticing. The thing that really gets to me is that he has fucked it up for so many victims out there that are in the industry, in the shadows, that haven't come out, because the industry does have victims. That's what it does. Yes, thank you. Don't make enough money that they got to go grift to. Yeah, the attorneys, and even Call Me Vicky was saying, like, if you're gonna pay attention to Blackbird, you have to pay attention to other like attorneys. You do. You kind of have to wonder. So if they're out there, if it's about justice, then make it about justice. But to release an audio and then transcript of a very specific case that has not been vetted, that's a big red flag to let you guys know that this is really about social media. We support victims, and I'm sure that whatever comes out of their investigation, because a lot of this is hinging on that too, we're going to be right there rooting for the victims. But the victims, it's what their story is, right? It shouldn't be added any additional. It doesn't need to be released out here. Let the authorities do what they do. The industry uses you, abuses you, and spits you out when you're done using you as a puppet. That's right. I have been in this like deep dive lately. I don't know why my camera's like going out of focus. Shout out to the camera. like going in and out of focus. Shout out to you guys. I know this is like a live and totally all over the place. So I've been doing a huge focus on my past videos and really looking into, like, especially with this Tiny and Ti stuff that's coming about. Well, this attorney specifically, Layla says Tyrone Blackburn and a bald-headed man are both grifters. Not the bald-headed man. My camera's congested too, apparently. Justice, yeah, it needs to be served. It needs to be served. I'm gonna do my best to kind of go through my old videos and cut down, like, make them shorter and put out there what I've seen about, because like I said, I've been documenting Tyrone Blackburn since 3 years ago. I didn't know, like, crazy how his name would have come up again, again and again. Hey, do the right thing, and all this stuff would have come about. But I've been talking a lot about Tyrone Blackburn, and I didn't even realize how much I had talked about him and Sabrina Peterson. But like, that's my question: is why the circle of everything? Like, you are so right, Kim. Everything comes full circle. And here I am. Like, when I started this platform, I started talking about Tiny and Ti and kind of piecing things together and looking at court docs. And it's kind of coming full circle for me, where I'm like, here 3.5 years later, 3 years, and this shit is like worse than what it was when he started with Tiny and Ti. So yeah, we have to keep calling it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to condense those videos and make them shorter. I'm noticing that people are enjoying shorter videos. Like the one I did yesterday, I've been looking into different rabbit holes of different things with the true crime component. So I'm really enjoying that, actually. But I've been sick, so this is why I haven't been able to go live. But I'm live now. Shout out to you guys. Okay. Hey, Mexican long hair. Shout out to you. You said it's news to me. I saw the filing and it was full. Right. And it's so cool. Like, I want to, first of all, there's a lot of bigger bloggers that are talking about this. Like, Popcorn Planet. I also saw Sherelle's World is dragging Tyrone Blackburn. That's great. Good for her. I'm glad that she's also calling it out. There's a lot of people that are calling it out, and I'm so glad they are, and that they're seeing, because like I said, this is an injustice for the victims. This is an injustice for everyone involved. It's not just so much about a settlement. We want a conviction. People need to be convicted for the crimes that they committed. We need that to happen. But in order for that to happen, there needs to be a really good slate. These fucking earthworms, we need to remove them. We cannot fuck around with these people. We just can't, you know? Thank you, do the right thing. Still making great content. Keep up the good work. Thank you, the right thing. Aw, thank you, love. Shout out to you. We just got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? I got to work on some stuff. I'll probably be live later on today on some other stuff, of course. But let me know. What do you guys think? I wanted to get my feet into this whole lawsuit and these new allegations. Do you guys feel like a lot of this is taken away from the victims? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And again, this is a live video, so I apologize if I was as disorganized as Jason Lee. Shout out to Jason Lee. But at least I didn't have anybody to yell at. This is a one-person show. Got to get the shit together like that. I got to go like that and do my thing. All right, you guys have a great one. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Bye. 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 Hold up. Oh, and let me shout out Wines and Crimes. Thank you for becoming a member. Wim, thank you for gifting again. Thank you for being a member for 16 months and gifting. DB, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Calvin, thank you for the $5. Shout out to you. All right, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go blow my nose. Okay. You guys have a great one. Bye, guys. Bye.